everyone, today I'm out making the 5,000 mile review on the Yamaha MT09 Tracer, or Tracer 900, or FJ09 if you're outside the UK. It's been a great bike. I've had it for 5 and a bit months. Overall, very happy. I'm not going to go into what I think about the looks of the bike because I've done a sort of a walk around video and look at the bike type video already. I'll put a link to that in the description if you're interested. But this is literally a review after 5,000 miles of how the bike has been, what I think of it now. So as I said, I've had the bike 5 and a bit months. I've done 5,165 miles, and it's been an absolute joy, to be quite honest with you. No issues with the bike at all. Having said that, Yamaha have announced the recall, which does affect this bike. I've got it booked in for the 13th of May to get that sorted. That's just a problem with the handlebar holders. It's more of a precautionary recall, I think, as opposed to it will go wrong at some point type of recall. That's a bit of a shame, but other than that, the bike's been absolutely fine. No issues whatsoever. And as I said, I'm not going to do a walk around or look at the bike or discuss its looks really, because I've already covered that in another video. But I will just remind you that I think it looks fucking awesome. But that's all I shall say on the looks. If you did watch my previous video when I did a sort of a walk around of the bike, you remember that I said, or you may remember, I said I had the optional low seat fitted and that it was not very comfortable. It was rather firm. Well, I don't know what's happened to it, whether I've just got used to it or what, but it is comfortable as now. It is very comfy. I can ride it around all day, no issues whatsoever, no aches and pains. Riding position obviously is very upright, due to the sort of the style of the bike, and it's comfortable. The windscreen, people have complained about the windscreen not being very effective. I have no issues with it myself. It's adjustable. It's on its lowest setting at the moment. I'm not overly keen on how the windscreen looks, so I may be changing that for a dark smoked sports screen at some point. So the bike went in for its first service at 600 miles for the oil change. I think they do the oil in the engine and the gearbox, and get rid of the running in oil and put some proper oil in it, and just check everything's tight as it should be. And the next service isn't due until, I believe it's 12,000 miles, or a year of course, whichever comes soonest. And in terms of maintenance, apart from the usual sort of cleaning and chain lubing and the checks that you should be doing at home on your bike anyway, I haven't had to do anything to it really. I've adjusted the chain once, and that is it. There has actually been one little niggle I've got with the bike. Actually, I know I said I haven't had any problems, and it's not a problem. It's just a bit annoying really. The Yamaha badges on the side, some of the detail on that has come off around the edges a little bit. I'll see if I can get a photo and put it up now. But yeah, that's just a little bit annoying really. You don't notice it unless you're looking closely, but when I wash the bike I see it and I know it's there, and just a bit annoying. Some people have had issues with the rear shock corroding. I've not experienced that on this one. I know those that have got it sorted out under warranty, no problem. And quite right too, it shouldn't be corroding on a new bike. So, but yeah, I'd say I've not experienced that on this. In terms of fuel economy, I have averaged 61.9 mpgs. That's a mixed sort of style of riding, really. It's sort of bimbling around and it's sort of having a bit of fun now and again as well, so I think that's pretty good. Quite happy with that. And I get about 170 miles to a tank before I refuel, at which point the fuel gauge is down to 1 bar, and sometimes it's flashing at me, sometimes it's not. The heated grips on this bike are really good if you've got those fitted, or if you are considering buying one with heated grips. They are very good. And I like the fact that you can go in through the dash unit and adjust how warm the settings are, so you can pick between 1 and 10, obviously 10 being hottest, 1 being the coolest for heated grips, and you can adjust each 3 settings on the grips, which is quite a nice touch. In terms of riding, the bike is good fun. It handles really well, really well. Very flickable. It's light at the top. The centre of gravity is very low down. It sounds great. I don't know if the mic's picking up the pops and bangs of the exhaust. I've got the aquapobic exhaust in, and yeah, it sounds really good. I've got the baffle out at the moment, and when I first started it with the baffle out, I was quite surprised at how loud it was. I thought, no, this is too loud, but it's not. It's fine now. It just takes a bit getting used to. And in terms of performance, you stick it in A mode, and I'll tell you what, it is sports bike fast. It really is. I had the ZX9 before this, and there's not a lot of difference in it in terms of acceleration. Obviously ZX9's much quicker top end, and when you get to a certain speed would accelerate it, but I would imagine up to 90 or so, there's really not a lot in it at all. This bike, you know, it goes. It's a shame there's no space under the seat for anything bigger than a credit card. Would have been nice to have a little bit of space under there, even if it was just for a bottle of drink or something. But there ain't much space. I do a lot of riding at night time as well, just because of the shifts that I work. I'm often travelling home in the dark, and let him go past. And the headlights are really good. They're very bright. But they're as good as my car lights, to be honest. So I don't know what else I can say about the bike, really. You know, I had it 5.5 months, very happy with it. Wouldn't really change it for anything at the moment. No issues apart from that slight, the Yamaha badges wearing away around the edges a little bit. You know, the detailing coming off, which is a bit annoying. And the recall, of course, which is inconvenient, but it's a precaution as opposed to something that will go wrong with it. Yeah, certainly recommend this bike if you're looking for a fun bike which is comfortable as well. Then this is definitely a good option to consider. I hope the microphone picked those pops up. Probably not. We're going to have to try and figure out how to put a microphone nearer the exhaust to pick up the noises that it makes, because it is awesome. If I had to pick something to be improved on the bike, I'd probably say the brakes. They're okay, but they're not amazing. The back brake is really soft. The front brakes could do with some more sort of initial bite. And they do the job, but they're not amazing. But that's really the only sort of negative that I've come up with, you know, with the bike. So yeah, good machine, happy with it. Would highly recommend one if you're looking for a quick fun bike which handles well and is also comfortable. Definitely worth considering. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Take care guys, and see you next time. Cheers.